back to my channel. Sass here. I'm here for another Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup child. Last night's episode was pretty good. It was pretty good. I didn't mind it whatsoever, honey. Let's start off on a light note. Alright? Let's talk about Quay and Chevelle, child. Now, as we know, they still at their amusement park with no mask. But that's neither here nor there, child. And it is time for Quay and Chevelle to have, a little bit of alone time, some talking time. We know D-Mark, honey. D-Mark say, I don't want no parts of this. I don't want to see him, talk to him, be around him. You tripping. And so Chevelle was like, listen, you don't want to talk to him, take baby girl over there, y'all go on a ride or whatever. So he was like, cool. So Quay and Chevelle have their alone time. So she was like, let's get on this good old Ferris wheel. He was like, I ain't never been on no Ferris wheel. Well, that's because you've been locked up for how long, y'all? 12 years. Okay? You have a chance to get on no Ferris wheel, child. So, we have Chevelle. Chevelle is talking about, I want to move it slow. There's a little bit of me that still have feelings for him. Okay? I'm still hurt. He cheated on me. I'm hurt. Okay? See, I'm not in it for the short term. I'm in it for the long haul. I want a commitment. Chevelle talking all that mad stuff. And then Quay said, let me shut her up real quick. I'm tired. Okay? I don't walk 4 miles carrying this suitcase. I'm tired. Let me just shut her up. So he reached into his pocket, child, and he done pulled out a box that he done got from Rolo Swap Meet. What's inside, y'all? Honey, a diamondoid, cubic zirconian, diamond. That's what's inside a Rolo Swap Meet box. But he said it's diamond, baby. He said it's diamond. So, honey, Chevelle, she tried to play it cool, did she? But on the inside, she was about to bust out that Ferris wheel, honey. She couldn't say yes fast enough. He was like, will you marry me? She was like, yes. Honey, the only thing you see was teeth and gums. Honey, Chevelle snatched up that ring, honey. I said, Chevelle, what about all this taking it slow? What about all this, you got a little bit of feelings for Quay. Honey, the minute you seen that Rolo Swap Meet box, honey, you imploded. My thing is, friends, how did Quay buy a ring? I mean, the only thing we seen him do was work at the barber shop, sweeping up hair, taking out trash. How'd you afford a ring? That ring was nice. Quite nice ring. And you said it was diamonds. So how did you buy this ring? Boy, you still can't drive legally. But we seen you behind the wheel. Did you get your license? Chevelle was very happy. Crying, snot fried. Quay looked proud of himself, happy with himself, and they genuinely look happy. Listen, if they like it, I love it. Okay? If Quay and Chevelle, we have already said that Quay and Chevelle was going to get back together. And if this makes both of them happy, so be it. Quay, don't be cheating no more. Don't be talking to Chi-Town. Okay? Cut her off. Cut off everybody. Alright? So, anyway, Quay and Chevelle, they are engaged. And honey, when they were talking outside about, how happy they were and Chevelle was happy, I didn't pay any attention to that conversation because my eyes was dead on to that Mustang GT. Did y'all see that Mustang behind them? I was like, good God almighty. That car was beautiful, child. Congratulations, Quay and Chevelle. Congratulations. Y'all, let's move on. Now, let's talk about Lindsay and Stiff Upper Lip. Now, we already know that Lindsay is in jail. Okay? Now, the story that was told to me was that Lindsay was at her mama's house. There was a warrant for her, and they went to her mama's house and they found drugs and gun at her mama's house. Now, Lindsay says that she was driving a friend's car. Wasn't her car. She was driving a friend's car, got pulled over. They did a search of the vehicle and found gun and drugs, okay? That's what Lindsay said. Now, Lindsay was a hot mess. Y'all know she was living with stiff upper lip. She done tore up his office. Lindsay was just a whole mess, honey. A trailer park mess, child. Okay, that's Lindsay. So, stiff upper lip said, I ain't even worried about her. She didn't want to leave, that's fine. Lindsay is a convict. She'll be back in prison within a month. Honey, then they said 2 weeks later, and honey, you have a collect call from a correctional facility. Your name, Lindsay. Honey, Lindsay's talking about how she got incarcerated. She's talking about how, she loves her daughter and how, she's going to learn from this. She can get up to 5 years. Blah, blah, blah. She says the stiff upper lip is a piece of crap. F him. He's a loser. He's 50-some years old. This is why he's single, lonely, and sad. He'll never get anybody. Honey, Lindsay was just talking trash behind bars. See, Lindsay, you can say all that about stiff upper lip, but one thing for sure, he's breathing that fresh air. You ain't. You breathing somebody's booty hole. And somebody's leftover toilet scent. That's what you smell. Okay? Honey, you are in the perfect place for you. I didn't like Lindsay. Not from jump. She had all this mouth. Accomplished nothing. So, Lindsay, you where you supposed to be, stiff upper lip, clean up that house, and honey, do whatever you need to do. Let's move on. Now, let's talk about Latino Heat and Britney. Now, y'all, I'm all for, showcasing your family on these reality shows. I really am. And I like it. I like when they showcase their family. I love it. But Britney's mama, I'm just telling y'all right now, in my opinion, y'all can agree to disagree, she get on my nerves. I know that she has an addiction problem. I know that she has pain that goes back way in her childhood, honey. I know this. But the way she portrays herself in front of that camera, no. So y'all know they're going to Alaska. And she is inside of that van. Child, honey, them kids are squalling and screaming and Latino, he said, child, if I had any hair on my head, it would be ripped to shreds. Because these kids getting on my good nerve. See, I only got 2 nerves. And then he says, now listen, we were all planning to go to Alaska as a family. But we have this extra baggage. I was like, come on, Latino Heat with the shade. Come on. Now that mama is sitting in the back talking about, I was dragged. Your mom and dad is dragging me on this trip. She's rolling her eyes. Excuse me, your daughter is taking you on a trip to try and help you. Which I believe, honey, unless they drop you off in Alaska, honey, this ain't going to help you. You're not even grateful that your daughter is trying to look out for you and help you. Your daughter and your son-in-law spent hours walking around the streets in the hoods of Las Vegas going to, no-tell, motel, looking for you. They have that dog with them. Well, meanwhile, his mom is babysitting your kid, is babysitting your grandkids while your daughter looking for you. Talk about you was with your boyfriend. And now your daughter is stressing herself to try to make sure that you okay. Meanwhile, her marriage may be affected by this, but you don't care. You in the backseat talking about they done dragged you. They making you go. Talking about, I don't want to talk about it. Get out of my face. I don't want to talk about it. You know what? If I was Latino Heat, I would have said, sir, will you pull over? I would have stopped that SUV. I would have got her bags, and I would have been like, either you shut your mouth and be appreciative or get out. Those are your options. I can't stand an ungrateful person. And she cannot use her addiction when it comes to her bad behavior. That's an excuse. We all know you going through some things, but you ain't got to act like that, ungrateful, entitled. Oh, I'm going to act this way. Y'all need to give me a pass because I have addiction to pills. I think the F not. Did nobody tell you to get on this show? You chose to get on this show. You ain't worried about that paycheck that come along with it. So they get to Alaska, and it's time to see her mama. And honey, I done showed y'all that clip of Little Man. Little Man was looking at her like, he was looking at his great-grandma was like, no, what did I do? What did I do? And honey, Latino Heat. Latino Heat said, I'm in and now, honey. We said our haze and we're about to say our byes and I'm getting my kids up out of here. We getting the F up out of here. I don't even want my kids around this mess. This whole family is a mess. What is going on? Honey, good for you, Latino Heat. Snatch them up. I wouldn't want my kids around that mess either. Honey, that is generation of depression, abuse, addiction, and none of them have gotten the help that they need. And this show ain't going to give them the help. Honey, they need somebody. Do they need Ayana? Is that who they need, child? Because, honey, y'all need something. So, the grandma, Brittany's mom, is sending 3 generations, honey, of just a mess. The mama done said she ran away. Brittany was like, okay, we know Brittany ran away. The mama done said that she done been abused. The grandma don't remember that. The grandma don't remember the abuse that must have took place in that house, allegedly. Everybody get up on this show. Everybody got amnesia. Tired of it, y'all. I'm tired of talking about it. I come to review this show to make y'all laugh. So we can laugh together. And here we are with this mess. So Brittany's mom, she gets upset. She started a tantrum. She goes outside. And I'm like, this is not what y'all need. Y'all need help. And I am not making light of the situation. But what I am doing is, this is a type of family situation that this show cannot help. It just can't be done. So, child, anyway, child, let's move on from Brittany, honey. Let's move on. Now, let's talk about the trio of fools. We got Shane, John, and we have Lacey, child. Honey, first, let's talk about Shane and Lacey. Shane up there talk about he changing the locks. Lacey was cleaning, and she was like, what are you doing? He was like, oh, I'm changing the locks. We don't want nobody to come in and snatch us up. We don't want nobody to come in and break into our house. We don't want nobody to come. She said, shut up. She said, you doing all this because you know John is out. What do you think John gonna do? Come up in here? He was like, I don't know. I don't know. He is a drug addict. We know what drug addicts do. Now, wait a minute, Shane. Well, wait a minute. Now, I'm glad that you get your life together. I sure am. I am so glad that you finally getting your life together. You got you a little bit of job. You got the family down. You seem like you're doing well for yourself. But honey, when did you start becoming so judgmental? You being a little judgy, don't you think? Especially someone who's an ex-con. Pop me, Kevin. Why were you in jail, John? Did you have sticky fingers? So you don't need to be talking about what John did. Shay, you just one step from being out there yourself. You're lucky you got Lacey to lay up with. What if she would have kicked you to the curb? Boy, if you don't go somewhere and quit being so judgmental, John ain't going up in that house. He ain't going nowhere near it. So, Lacey and Shay, they're going back and forth. He worried about John. Now here's John. John is still worried about Lacey, child. So he says, listen, I want to know, did Lacey turn me in? Okay? She ain't returning my texts. She ain't returning my phone calls, and they ain't like Lacey. Lacey would have been back with me by now. But child, honey, ain't heard nothing. So he said, let me call her home girl real quick. Let me see if I can get some information. So met up with the home girl, and the home girl just laid it out. Laid it on the line, said, listen, I'm not going to be here long. I got somewhere to be. I don't want to be in the middle of it. But let me just say this to you, John. You need to move on with your life. Move on, because see, Lacey's done moved on. So you need to move on as well. Child, let me tell you, Lacey pregnant. Did y'all see the hurt on John's face? Boy, that hurt his feelings, honey. He was about to cry, not fly, honey. I was like, John, hold it in, honey. Hold it in. John loves Lacey. You can tell he loves her. But the homegirl said, listen, it's time for you to know. Okay? This is why Lacey have not gotten back in touch with you. Now, I don't know who called the law on you. I have no idea. I don't know if it was Lacey or not. But I do know that she's pregnant. And I do know it's time for you to move on, son. Just move on, John. John, he got tears in his eyes, and then they reminisce about him and Lacey together, and he said that, you know, Lacey was pregnant at one time, but she had a miscarriage. That broke his heart. Then he thought one of the kids was his. Come to find out, it wasn't. That broke his heart, and now she is pregnant with Shay's child. That broke his heart. So, honey, John is just a hot mess. John, listen, this don't mean nothing, but if it was my choice, I would have preferred Lacey with you. But you know, my opinion means nothing. I always said I liked John. I did. I always liked him. But honey, John, it is time for you. Virginia Beach is a huge place. You can find you another girl with some inflated lips and some rock cement tits. You can find many girls like that in Virginia Beach. Move on. Like I'm about to do. Child, let's talk about Andrea and Lamar. I enjoyed this segment, honey. I enjoyed it. I really, really did. Side note, did y'all see Tennyson got him a haircut? In that confessional, Tennyson got him a little bit of haircut. Tennyson looked good. He looked real good. Good for you. So it's time for Andrea to meet up with Shantae. It should have been done years ago. Okay. So Lamar, Andrea, and Priscilla go and meet up with Shantae. Andrea's whole thing is, this ain't my fault. This ain't my fault. This ain't my fault. See, Shantae thinks it's my fault, but it ain't my fault. This is Lamar's fault. This is all Lamar's fault. This ain't my doing. I want to make her know it ain't my doing. Okay? It's all Lamar. Andrea's something else, ain't she, y'all? Girl, it don't matter. Just go and talk to her. This is your husband's daughter. She ain't going nowhere. So then Andrea was was like, now listen, if Lamar wants to have a relationship with Shantae, that's fine. But now he's dragging Priscilla into it. And since I am the mother, I'm going to be involved. Lamar never said that you couldn't be involved. Yes, it was a whole lie. But now y'all have solved that problem. And y'all solved it rather quickly. After all of y'all cutting the shine. So y'all done made peace. It's time to move on. So of course, they show up at Shantae. And honey, Shantae seemed like she is a lovely girl. Lovely. Lovely place. The kids look so pretty. Shantae is a pretty girl. Pretty. And so, Lamar, I give him props. Lamar said, listen, I don't need to be in the middle of this. I'm going to get up, I'm going to leave, and I'm going to let the women work it out. Good for you, Lamar. Don't get in between women's business. You come in after to work out. So, Shantae cool, calm, collected. Andrea cool, calm, collected. And Shantae just broke it down. Shantae said, listen, I ain't got nothing against you. I don't even know you. And real talk, I don't even know my dad. I'm trying to get to know him, which means I'm trying to get to know you. I have a sister out there, okay? I have Priscilla, and I'm just trying to get to know the family. And Andre was like, I understand that, but I don't want you to think that it was me that was keeping you from your father. Let's be clear, that's Lamar. Okay, Andrea, we get it. And then Andrea said that the reason why she was a little cold towards the meetup with Shantae is because, you know, just in case Shantae was a brat. Or if Shantae was full of drama. Now, I was cool with the conversation until Andrea said those fatal words. Andrea, you sit there and said that you was worried about her having drama. Friends, talk to me. What's Andrea's middle name? D-R-A-M-A. How many times have we seen Andrea cut up and cut a shine? She is drama. Andrea is drama, child, and she kept talking about Shantae. Shantae was like, that's cool. Shantae said cool. That ain't even me, but hey, it's all good. Shantae was on it, wasn't she? I really like her. I really do. And so they talked it out like women, like mature women, and they have an understanding, which I really, really like that. Y'all should have did that a long time ago without all these shenanigans. Honey, your mama, honey, Shantae, whoever raised you, honey, they did a fantastic job. See, your daddy didn't, but whomever household you was in, honey, they did a great job. Just a sweet, sweet kid. All these kids, okay? We already know Nyla, Tennyson, Priscilla, just great kids. And now Shantae. I just feel like all of them together will be great. Andrea, stop it. Just stop it. Let Lamar have a relationship with Shantae, and you can grow with her. Okay? You the one always talk about the Lord does great work. Let the Lord lead you. Let's move on. Last and certainly least, honey, John. John, as we know, he been flirty with Tara the Terror, honey. Okay. But something is telling me that he's leaving out some information. Something ain't quite right. So he goes over and he talks to his friend. Because, see, Christiana's about to get out of prison. Well, jail. Anytime now. She's been there almost 10 months. So he tells his friend, he said, listen, Christiana's about to get out of prison, jail, and I'm about to tell you something. He was like, what'd you do? He said, what did you do? And he said, listen, that sister have been living with me. Okay? And she's been real flirty. And so that friend said, did y'all do it? And so he said, nuh-uh. See, John says he didn't do nothing. But he did flirt back. And he liked it. I mean, it's lonely. He liked what the terror was dropping. He was trying to pick it up, but he didn't pick it up all the way. John had the audacity to come out his mouth that every woman he's been with, he done cheated on. Who are these women? Why are y'all laying up with this mess, honey? You know his balls smell like mothballs, honey. He is not washing properly. Honey, his whole ball is just stuck to the inside of his thigh. Honey, when you peel it, what do you hear? Velcro, honey. Woo, child. But he got all these women that he cheating on. I swear, if I see one in front of my face, I will slap the dog piss out and be like, what's wrong with you? This all you can get? Whew. So the friend said, listen, you got a whole wife. And you need to take care of that. In fact, the first time she was getting a little flirty, you should have went like this. Da, 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 da. Kick out. But he didn't do that, did he? No, because he liked it. He liked the attention. His wife ain't there, so he got the sister. So he gets a call from Christiana. Y'all, when I tell you, did y'all see that boat? He come talking about Christiana always wanted to get on the boat, honey. And he said he gonna kinda fix up that boat. Let me tell y'all something about that boat, honey. One word, 3 syllables, Titanic. Baby! Baby, honey, the minute you put that boat on that lake, honey, that boat is a goner. And so are you and Christiana. Keep that dusty, raggedy, roach-infested, rat-infested boat underneath that carport with your foolish self that got that broom. What's that broom gonna do? John, foolish. So, he's talking to Christiana. Christiana says, I have fantastic news. I'm getting out. He said, what? I'm getting out in a couple of days, baby. And guess what? I don't even have to go to the halfway house. Honey, I could come straight home and kick it. But there's one problem. See, my sister, she got to go. Because, see, she has open charges. So John was like, oh, man. What am I going to do? I don't know what you're going to do, foolish. He was like, oh, man. She was like, I hate that, but in order for me to stay there, she got to go. So John, he has to make the tough decision. So that mama sitting on that porch. Now, wasn't the mama on oxygen? Why is she smoking? What is going on? I said, now, mama, put them cigarettes and you on oxygen. Child. Honey, can't none stop a Pall Mall, I guess. So he calls out Tara the Terror, honey, and he was like, listen, I got to talk to y'all. Christiana is getting out, okay? She ain't even got to go to the halfway house. She gets out in a couple of days, and here's Christiana. Yay. Yay, my sister's getting out. She's my confidant. My sister's the reason why I'm sober. Yay. Honey, her inside imploded. Honey, Tara the Terror, honey, she could have ripped the door off them hinges, child, when she heard that. And so John said, now I got some bad news, honey. Tara, you got to go. She was like, what? Listen, in order for my wife to come here and stay, it means you got to go because you got open charges. We all know you have substance abuse problem. You have open charges. And then that sister said, I'm not even on probation. He said, it don't matter. You got to go. And so the sister said, what am I supposed to do, John? He said, I don't know what you're going to do. I'm sorry about it, but you got to go. Honey, that mama done start crying, stop flying. And then that mama go, John. Honey, Tara the Terror said that she believes that John done made that up. Because, see, they start to get close, and this is a way for John to get her out of there before they move a little further. That's what Tara the Terror said. Now, let me just say this. Tara, you have had 10 months to find you something, to find you somewhere to go, to get a job. You had 10 months to do that. You out there stuck underneath your sister's husband, and you keep talking about that, Christiana and John don't even know each other. You didn't know John before you moved in there and started walking around in a towel and sitting on his lap and trying to kiss him. I don't have no sympathy for you. How you gonna do your sister like that? I don't care if there's bad blood or not. You don't do that. Now it's time for you to put on your big girl panties, go out into the world, and try to do something yourself. It ain't for John to try to find you something. That mama come talk about, can you find her the fish? You see, hell no. That ain't her husband. Mama. That's not her husband. That's her sister's husband. It's up to her to take her feet to the street, grow up, and find her own place. That's what you do. Okay? John, he ain't innocent in this either. Because I feel like something else done went on. Because John says that he ain't ready to tell Christiana the full story. In fact, he said he ain't got no intentions on telling Christiana the full story. What full story? What's so hard in saying, listen, your sister, she been flirting with me. And she tried to kiss me, but I went like this. What you hiding, John? What you afraid to tell your sister that you and Tara the Terror actually did something? Child born the night, not last night. It seems like to me Christiana's the one that got good sense. Christiana, get away from all of them. That's what I say. But she can't because we know that she pregnant. Just a whole mess. What y'all think about it? Leave it down below. Y'all know what to do. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, friends. Bye.